11 years later, trans McDonald's worker wins $930,000 in workplace harassment lawsuit. In the legal battle that started 11 years ago, a transgender woman in Washington, D.C. was awarded $930,000 in a workplace discrimination lawsuit against her local McDonald's. Diana Portillo Medrano said she was subjected to, quote, a barrage of taunts, laughter, ridicule, and harassment because she is a transgender woman, end quote. The lawsuit alleged that the franchise owners used Medrano's undocumented status as the reason for firing her after she reported repeated harassment to the D.C. Office of Human Rights. Medrano, who emigrated from El Salvador, was one of the several employees hired by the franchise who lacked legal status for employment in the United States. The lawsuit stated, quote, despite a successful 5-year career with McDonald's marked by raises, promotion, and awards, and absence of any discipline, plaintiff Diana Medrano's supervisors and co-workers discriminated against her because she is a transgender woman, end quote. The jury awarded Medrano $700,000 in punitive damages and $230,000 for emotional distress. First of all, I think that number should be higher. It's 11 years. Even if the lawyers take it pro bono, that's a lot of dragging. And since I work in the mediation field, I'm guessing that they have repeatedly delay the proceedings again and again and again. Hopefully they'll go away, or better yet, the franchise owners hopefully she'll get deported and the case would just dismiss itself.
Yeah, or she would stop fighting.
Yeah, and obviously she did not stop fighting, and her legal representative has scored her a nice victory.
Yeah.
But really, I mean,
11 years.
11 years.
You know, and it's funny because we just had a positive story about McDonald's, and then we talk about this. We must remind our viewers that McDonald's are franchises, right? They're not all, they're not all owned by one person, right? There is Big Brother, but each one is individually owned. And we're talking about something that happened 15 years ago, right? More or less. Because my first thought was, okay, she was undocumented. How did they give her a job, right? Without the proper paperwork. But unbeknownst to me, the owners of that McDonald's were giving people jobs left and right without any documentation needed kind of deal, Again, try to get slave labor, right, at a quarter of the cost because undocumented folks can't get many jobs, legitimately. Well, and then trans people, again, no one at this table is trans, so we can't talk about the trans experience lived wise, but trans people deal with a lot of shit, and the amount of crap that she probably had to endure for all that time living, working there, plus getting accolades, getting raises, right? Probably having to train other people and trying to make other people, become good workers. And then this is how they treated her.
I believe every word she said. I believe
every
single word, because they be saying slick shit. And especially when she's in a position where she needs the help, they're going to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh yeah, we going to slide with all the slick shit because where else are you going to go?
Yep.
And that is absolutely disgusting. So I'm glad she got every penny. She deserves more.
She deserves
But I believe every word she says, and it's happening everywhere.
She was very much exploited. I mean, legally she was just simply exploited for cheap labor.
That's right.
Yeah, because it's not, slaves weren't paid, so it wasn't enslaved labor, but it was definitely taken advantage of. I think it's important that, corporations definitely have their checks and balances and making sure that across the board, whether it's a franchise or not, that they are educating their managers, the line workers on LGBTQ,
sensitivity training.
Sensitivity training, also just hiring people who reflect a broad, vast, an inclusive community that reflects many different types of people. Maybe she could have been a manager or something. Because she was a good employee, had been there for 5 years. Maybe she could have been a general manager, giving her opportunity as a trans woman of color a leg up. So I think it's important that you can't just here's your franchise and not check up on them and see if they following the rules, because then things like this happen.
Yeah, and things have changed. Things have changed over the last decade. People have cracked down more on having undocumented people work for you, et cetera, especially at a corporation like McDonald's. They still took advantage of her at the end of the day. And like everybody at this table said, she deserves more. But you know what, Diana, you stayed and you fought, girl. Okay, because I don't think that I would have lasted the 11 years. And I would have been like, this country doesn't love me. This place is not good for me. peace, you know?
But the stress on her mental health.
Yeah. Oh God.
Like just going through the court proceedings and just being it's almost like the system just kind of just doubled down on what she was experiencing, because I'm like, 11 years and only $930,000. Now you should have bankrupt the company.
So this this LGBTQ plus History Month, we should celebrate her strength, resilience, and sense of personal value.
Definitely, definitely.
For sure.
Well, maybe not eat that McDonald's chicken snack wrap. Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe.
Been waiting a long time for it to come back.
You can have it, baby. You can have
I'll
it.
take it.